Centre, a health warning issued as potentially dangerous smoke billowed from the building.
Explosions from within a Midvale Mechanics. This fire sending potentially toxic smoke into the air, sending suburbs away. A hazmat warning issued for the area. The owner of the vehicle repair shop, Dark Horse Performance, inside around 9 this morning when the blaze started. Nearby businesses evacuated, including a childcare centre.
Just a bit of smoke to start with, just filtering out through the top of the roof, and then the flames all started. The walls buckled.
Walked outside and saw the huge amounts of smoke coming off the building down the road.
Neighbouring workers helping fight the flames as Beaconsfield Avenue closed off.
We all grabbed our fire hoses along outside of the shop and started trying to put it out. Rang the fire brigade straight away.
Firefighters say at least 6 cars were damaged by the fire, the business now contacting the vehicle's owners.
The blaze has been deemed accidental. It started when a worker was decanting fuel from a vehicle using an electric pump, the device failing.
He'll be difficult case. This is his business, his livelihood.
Sarah Smith, 9 News.
St John Ambulance is blaming paperwork delays for the time it took a man who'd suffered a stroke to be transferred to the private hospital where Jerry Williams was staying, telling 9 News today. It's the first time that they've heard of paperwork being an issue.
Jerry Williams' family took him to St John of God Murdoch expecting the highest quality care, but they claim what he got was far from it.
Why did they let it go so long? Why was there no urgency to get him help?
Considered a high-risk patient, the 70-year-old went for a routine ankle operation last October. His daughter, a 9 News employee, says he was showing signs of deterioration. A scan carried out hours later confirming a stroke. Transferred via ambulance to Sir Charles Gardner's stroke clinic. He died less than 2 days later.
It's about finding the answers so we can make life better and make these hospitals better so no one has to go through this again.
The Williams family now given a small glimpse into what happened. St John Ambulance telling them there was a delay at St John of God Murdoch due to the necessary transfer paperwork not being ready. Unfortunately, this was beyond our control. The hospital says St John Ambulance never advised them that this was an issue and is now seeking clarification. Also pointing out 2 investigations found nothing could have prevented Jerry Williams' death. Tonight, the 70-year-old's family wants a coronial inquest. Amber Wilkinson, 9 News.
Even a 6-figure salary is no longer enough to comfortably afford to rent in Australia. That's the latest grim analysis on the nation's housing crisis. Federal politics reporter Liz Daniels has more.
As we barrel towards a cost of living election, the biggest cost of living is the cost of housing. If you're spending more than a third of your wage putting a roof over your head, you're considered to be in housing stress. With the average weekly rent in Australia at $566, new analysis shows a single person on an income of $60,000 would be handing 59% of their take-home pay over to their landlord. As the income goes up, the burden lessens, but only when it ticks over $130,000 does it fall into that affordable range. The harsh reality, on the average Australian salary of $100,000 a year, you'd be in housing stress in every mainland capital city, spending between 48% of your income on rent in Sydney and 34% in Darwin. The most unaffordable in the regions, the mining towns of northern WA and the beachside suburbs of the Gold Coast. With about a third of Australians renting, this is a big voter base and one that's impatient for change.
Tonight we are one step closer to learning how the universe began. A photograph from a telescope under construction in the WA outback, giving scientists reason to celebrate this hour.
A picture of space decades in the making, taken by this telescope in the WA outback.
This first image is actually really exciting because I think it's a bit better than we thought it might be.
The square kilometre array spans 74 kilometres, right now under construction in our Murchison region. Technicians building about 1,000 antennas in the past year. Today's milestone confirming it's going to plan. This photo part of a test shoot, the telescope using less than 1% of its power to take it.
The picture that we've taken, it's about 100 times the size of the full moon on the sky, and it shows 85 radio galaxies.
The astronomy community are very excited to see this first sign of the telescope that's really working the way that it is meant to work.
By mid next year, the telescope will be the largest of its kind in the world. Eventually, there'll be 131,000 antennas here, and by 2030, the SKA will be powerful enough to capture images of more than 600,000 galaxies.
It will be the first time that we as humanity have ever been able to map that period in the universe.
The science instrument hoping to answer our biggest questions.
We can look for unexpected signals, like potentially from extraterrestrial intelligence.
The SKA has been likened to a time ship. It's been built so we can see back to the beginning of time. It sounds violent, but it's actually happening, and it's right here in our state.
So I think what this really shows is that, WA is a leading place in the world for doing radio astronomy.
Rachel Clifford, 9 News.
The worst traits of WA drivers revealed. Still to come tonight, a new survey by the RAC finding your top 5 gripes on the road. Will our ever-present inability to merge make the list? That's still to come this hour of news. A windy warm Tuesday in Sydney, Shirley Biggs. It was a chilly start.
Tomo, it was an unexpected cold snap. Jandakot was the coolest at 11.4 degrees this morning. Not quite as chilly for those closer to the coast. It got down to 18 degrees in Mandurah. In the city, it dipped to a chilly 13.3, which is the coolest morning we've had since that chilly Boxing Day morning last year, when it got down to 11 degrees. While it was a rather cool morning, it had nothing on our coldest March night, which was back in 2007, dropping to 6.3 degrees. With all the sunshine today, the temperature crept up again, peaking at 32.1 by 2 o'clock this afternoon. Cloud cover tonight will keep it a little warmer, but we're not done with the chilly mornings just yet this week. Time, I'll pop those details coming up soon.
I don't mind chilly morning. Sherry, thank you. They really are headed home. Next to this hour of news, popping up the overtime. Astronauts Butch and Sally finally begin their journey back to Earth. US President Vladimir Putin to hold crucial telephone talks. Grief turns to anger over the Macedonian nighttime fire that killed dozens of people. And while Donald Trump says Joe Biden's last-minute pardons as president aren't valid.
Leanne was feeling a bit sore, so she went for a massage.
I verbally said to her, please don't touch my hair.
Then she felt a crack. Join me.
In the most romantic final days.
You are moving me. I just want to see some sort of fire.
We work through metal. Love soars.
Is the key to my apartment?
And the warrior sanctuary.
I've got a 250-year-old katana.
Is finally unlocked.
As I open to see his home.
Tonight, 7:30.9.
Looks good, huh? What we got, Mom?
From big jobs to even bigger jobs, it cannot fail.
With HCF health programs, members get support to live healthier lives. And now, Sally gets this ad to give her sister a message.
Amy, stop taking my avocados. What am I supposed to do with this?
Sisters.
Did your place looking good for less?
Dulux Interior Paint, 98.90. Sully's 180 gram gap filler, 12.90.
Where you find a competitor's lower price on the same stock item will beat it by 10%. The lowest prices are just the beginning.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. What in the hell? In this world, you never know what you'll find.
Diaz needs goodbye, brother.
No, it doesn't.
A Minecraft movie in cinemas April 3.
Easter's calling. Get out there and get more with up to 50% off temps by these great brands. Explore more ways to play and save this Easter. Play more and pay less at...
This is Australia's journey to a renewable future, and Alinta Energy is on board. Right now, we're working on $10 billion worth of new renewables, like the Oven Mountain Pumped Hydro project. That's true power. Alinta Energy.
So I'm meant to be there for a flight visit just 8 days. Tonight they're heading home 9 months later. Astronauts Butch and Sunny finally farewelling the International Space Station to face a new challenge, readapting to life on Earth.
A big wave and astronaut Sunny Williams at long last saying goodbye to the International Space Station.
Final handshakes and hugs between the departing crew members.
59-year-old Williams and colleague Butch Wilmore in their re-entry suits. Space castaways no more. Stranded for more than 9 months, now finally getting a lift back to Earth. And along for the ride home, a NASA and Russian astronaut, all strapped in to a space